is a singular creature. He has a set of gifts which make him unique among the animals, so that, unlike them, he is not a figure in the landscape. He is the shape of the landscape.
We are all children of Africa. Children of Africa. They say this is where it all began. This is where it all began.
In a parched African landscape, man first put his foot to the ground, to the ground, to the ground, to the ground.
Africa was our only home for tens of thousands of years, until a small handful of people made their way out of Africa.
These beings with soaring imagination eventually flung themselves and their machines into interplanetary space. These beings with soaring imagination eventually flung themselves and their machines into interplanetary space.
We are all children of Africa. Children of Africa. This landscape has been home to humans 200,000 years.
We have come so far. All of this is cause for great celebration. We've come so far. This is a story about us.
Those early Europeans were people like you and me. And it is humbling when you see the challenges they faced. People like you and me overcame the Neanderthals. People like you and me made it through the Ice Age.
These beings with soaring imagination eventually flung themselves and their machines into interplanetary space.
We are not the only beings with personalities, minds and feelings. Chimpanzees have very clear personalities, minds and feelings.
Take a chimp brain, feed a lead, and let it go 2 or 3 more rounds of division. Out comes somebody's ideology.
We are not the only beings.
Everything that we are that distinguishes us from chimps emerges from that 1% difference in DNA.
People like you and me overcame the Neanderthals. People like you and me made it through the Ice Age.
These beings with soaring imagination eventually flung themselves and their machines into interplanetary space. These beings with soaring imagination eventually flung themselves and their machines into interplanetary space.
Using his burgeoning intelligence, this most successful of all mammals has exploited the environment to produce food for an ever-increasing population. Instead of controlling the environment for the benefit of the population, perhaps it's time we control the population to allow the survival of the environment. How could one species turn into another?
How is it that we find ourselves surrounded by such complexity, such elegance?
The genes of you and me, the genes of you and me, we're all made of DNA. We're all made of the same chemical DNA. We're all made of DNA. We're all made of the same chemical.
Only the fittest survive, and that was the key. Natural selection. That was the key.
We are surrounded by endless forms, most beautiful, most wonderful. Evolution, the greatest show on earth. There is grandeur in this view of life, most beautiful, most wonderful. Evolution, the greatest show on earth.
The history of life can be thought of as a many-branched tree. The 5 kingdoms of life were established early on. Bacteria, protists, amoeba-like creatures, fungi, plants, and animals.
We find ourselves perched on one tiny twig in the midst of a blossoming tree of life. Perched on one tiny twig in the midst of a blossoming tree of life.
Only the fittest survive. That's the key. Natural selection. That's the key.
We are surrounded by endless forms, most beautiful, most wonderful. Evolution, the greatest show on earth. There is grandeur in this view of life, most beautiful, most wonderful. Evolution, the greatest show on earth. We are surrounded by millions of other species. Walking, flying, burrowing, stalking, chasing, fleeing, outpacing.
Animals strive to reach this one ultimate goal, to ensure the survival of the next generation. This one ultimate goal, to pass on their genes. That is what life is all about,
There is grandeur in this view of life, most beautiful, most wonderful. Evolution, the greatest show on earth. As we look back on the history of life, we see a picture of never-ending, ever-rejuvenating novelty.
Those animals may seem to us to be very remote, strange, even fantastic. But all of us alive today owe our very existence to them.
Tahko Pikkalalle terveisiä, että alamäkipyöräilyssäkin tulee hiki ja vähän puuskututtaa.